All right, guys. I want to let you introduce each of you, and then we'll turn it over to Tom. First of all, more formally, Tom Dusenberry is a veteran of the toy industry, starting at Hasbro and then starting Hasbro Interactive. I think it's fair to say, Tom, that you have some roadkill along the way and learned a lot about both the dust and the magic, correct? So we've got some new additions to the panel just last minute. Okay, so great. And anyone else? Tom, should I just ask them who they are? Because I know that we're pulling some other people in. Jody, we don't have a slide for you, right? So who are you?
I'm Dr. Jody Sherman-Levos, and I head up the education team at Leapfrog.
I think I met you at Toy Fair. Oh, at App Camp. Okay, yeah. And there's we have Leappad 2 there. Tom, who else is new here? Yeah. Right?
Hi, my name is Jason Willard. I'm the product marketing manager for Curio at Technosaurus.
Okay, and we're throwing him into the fire. He's coming in at the last second, so everybody be nice to him, okay? We are. This is Kids at Play. We're nice to people, pretty much. Robert?
I'm Bob Hacker. I'm the CFO at One Laptop Per Child.
We have some questions for you, right?
I'd be happy to take questions in case there are one or two.
Great, and I'm sure you do too as well.
Hi, I'm Kamar Shah. I'm the CMO at RullingNet, and we make Vinci.
Vinci, and so, Tom, are you ready?
I'm ready. We're ready
Okay,
to go. Well, good morning, everybody. It's great.
Guys, before we start, we've got a timer right down there, and that's going to keep us on schedule.
Super. My name's Tom Dusenberry. I've been in the industry for 30 years. This is actually my 31st CES, so I've been coming to the show for a long time. And not only to see what's happened to Las Vegas, but to see what's happened to the Consumer Electronics Show over that period of time is really amazing. And my career background is that I cut my teeth at Parker Brother Games, where I got to work on great games such as Monopoly, Trivial Pursuit, and Nerf. And in 1995, I became the founder and the CEO of Hasbro Interactive. During that time, I acquired 7 different companies, including Atari and Wizards of the Coast. So we were a very acquisitive-oriented type of a company. And some of the great products that came out of that business were Roller Coaster Tycoon, the #1 PC game in 1999 and 2000, and other great products such as Frogger. And then we did some great licensing opportunities with companies such as Disney and Nickelodeon. And so we had a really robust company. And in 1998, I was looking at the business, and I was saying, if you really look at what we're all about, we're an interactive company, but we're part of a great toy company. So what we did is we went out and we created smart toys. And the first toys that we brought to the market were the CD-ROM play set. And what they were really trying to do is they were trying to bring together physical play and interactive play. And if you come fast forward to 15 years or today, what we're talking about is really bringing together physical play and interactive play. And that's what we're really going to talk about. From a point of view of what my business is all about right now, is that I have been an entrepreneur running my own company, Dusenberry Entertainment, for the last 10 years. Dusenberry Entertainment is totally focused on digital entertainment solutions. So really the 3 things that I do within my business is I work a lot on consulting. So I consult with both major global corporations as well as startups as it relates to business development and bringing product to market. The second thing that I do is I'm a product licensing agent, and what I do is I identify innovation, work with the innovators, and then bring that innovation to great global companies on both the toy side and the interactive side. And what's been fascinating over the last 2 or 3 years for me is that there were always 2 worlds. There was a toy world and there was an interactive world. Today, those have really merged. And when I talk to innovators, we look at the universe from a point of view of where's the best opportunity to bring the product to the marketplace. And it may be interactive and it may be toys. And then the third thing that I do is I work very closely with startups. And what I do is I help them with business development, and I also go out to make sure that we have the proper capitalization to make our business happen. So those are kind of the 3 things that we really focus on at Dusenberry Entertainment. And I think we're back up and running. So with that, I'd like to introduce you to each of the panelists, and maybe the panelists can spend like 3 or 4 paragraphs and talk a little bit about your company, talk a little bit about the products that you're bringing here, and just the trends in the market for today and for 2013. Jason?
Hi, my name is Jason Willard from Technosaurus, which is a division of LF Products. And what we brought here today is Curio. A little background on our company. We started off as Technosaurus in electronic games and grew into a bunch of different toy categories, from puzzles to board games to now a full-fledged Android 4 tablet. And that's been with the background of LF Products. We were acquired about 2 years ago. And it's given us a lot of opportunity to get into a lot of different markets. With Curio in particular, what we saw was a really good opportunity for go beyond a kid's tablet and make it with the same specs, but at a much better price point as a full-fledged 4.0 tablet, to make a family tablet. That way, kids of all ages can use it, and adults can use it as well for email, video. And the way we've done this is that it's a full ice cream sandwich tablet with a suite of easy-to-use parental controls and content filtering software so that kids can safely surf the internet. It's from the research that we've done, it's the #1 request among kids is to be able to surf the internet, and parents want to have that peace of mind. Also, it's been the #1 request for Christmas this year, and it's been a great ride for us since we launched in July. We became the #1 toy at both Toys R Us and Walmart this past holiday season.
This is kind of a cool thing. You got to touch your both fingers and turn it on, right?
Yep, and here is the kids interface. It's a lot more bigger icons, easy to use. You can swipe, you can tap. You can even go along the buttons along the top to look at all your apps. And what you see here is Tommy's profile. You can create up to 8 different unique Curio user profiles, and everyone can have separate settings so that what you find appropriate for Tommy, who might be 5 years old, is completely different than, say, Alex, who's a tween. And then that's where you can pick from the different profiles. And then if you go to if you click on Tommy up in the left-hand corner there again, and then the padlock.
Where's that?
In the top left corner.
Yeah.
And then do a J swipe, starting from the. Here, I'll show you here. Yeah. The all 5 there.
I almost did it.
You can get right into the main parental area, and you can go to the profiles here, and like I said, you can customize each one. If you go to Tommy, you can do anything from setting time limits for play. With the apps, you can choose which apps appear in a profile from what you've downloaded. And then something we find really unique is our proprietary software for content filtering. You set multiple levels of internet access, anywhere from full internet access to no internet access or somewhere in between. And one of those is content filtering. We have software that automatically categorizes 450 million websites and counting, because it auto-updates every day, so that you can easily block what you find appropriate or inappropriate. And in tandem, you can use block lists and safe lists to really fine-tune and pinpoint what you want your child to be able to view.
Thank you. Bob? Here's the
How do we get out of here, young man?
Here, I'll fix that.
You guys want to see something really scary? Look at that. That's scary. Wow, it's a meta conference. You're inside the tablet.
It's about the standard audience size when people talk about OLPC. It's nice to see so many people.
Well, this is the place. This is consumer. This is CES. This is actually international
How do you
CES.
click this?
And the hashtag, by the way, is kids tech.
All right, perfect.
That's that.
Okay.
And we are
So I'm the right-hand button. I'm Bob Hacker again. I'm the CFO at One Laptop Per Child. I actually spend most of my time trying to arrange projects for OLPC around the world. And today we have about 2.5 million laptops in the hands of children we'd like to think from that experience. We've learned a little bit about how children learn. But today I'm here to talk about our new product for the US market. It's called Exo Learning. It's an Android-based software suite. It's designed to empower creativity for children 3 to 12 years old. And we're going to license this software suite to tablet manufacturers that are running Android. We're going to license it to governments, NGOs, even content providers like book publishers. When you look,
Bob, when was this announced?
it was announced yesterday morning, 8 o'clock Pacific time.
And
So we announced it yesterday.
So can I just boil this down, that you're basically not going into the hardware business anymore. You're moving into the software delivery business.
We're in the software business, and we're looking for partners that are interested in distributing our software on Android tablets.
Such as the Curio.
I'm sorry?
Such as the one we just were looking at, the Curio and Android.
Oh, I already forgot about that. Sorry.
Just it's important. It's reality. So good.
Yeah.
Continue. Thank you.
Yeah, and our first licensee is a company called Sakar International, and they have a brand called Vitara, and they're going to put out a 7-inch Android tablet at popular prices, and the first order that they've secured is with Walmart. And when you think about the U.S. market, one thing that surprised us is we've come to the conclusion that in the tablet market, there is no distinction between standard specification and user interface between developed markets like the US and developing markets. The standards are converging into one set of standards for tablets. And that's part of the reason why we feel comfortable starting in the US. And when we looked at the US market, which was not a market where we were particularly at home, we saw several problems that we thought we ought to address in the software. And the first one is the problem of curation or selection. There's a lot of content out there, but it's very challenging for parents to find the content, to find good content. And lastly, every time you find something that you like, you have to pay to download it. We thought that was an issue that should be addressed. Secondly, we think that tablets are family devices, particularly when you look at middle income and lower income families. The device gets passed around, but we thought it was really important that there be multiple user IDs for the children in the family so that they could feel like they own the tablet and that they could customize it and make it their own. The third point is we know from OLPC that about 70% of the usage of computing devices by children is actually outside schools, which means the children have an opportunity to be learning, but without the benefit of the teacher. We all know that parents have a very positive effect on learning outcomes. So we wanted to build in a transparency in the tablet so that the parent would be able to better participate with the child in their learning experiences. And the last problem that we've identified, and this is a problem OLPC has been working on around the world for the last 5 years, is that almost everybody who's doing children's educational software, children's tablets, is focused on knowledge, which is what I call information cramming, which is what the school systems and the classrooms in the United States for 300 years have become really good at, cramming in knowledge. But the more profound learning experience is to reach understanding. And for understanding, you have to have basically 3 parts. You have to have conceptual thinking, you have to have critical thinking, and you have to have creativity. And creativity may be the most profound level of understanding. And when you look at creativity, the good news is a lot of great thinkers have helped us to understand creativity. And what they all say, whether you read Plato or you read Cezanne or you read Einstein, they all say that creativity is based on discovery, that you don't create new things, you discover new things by processing your perceptions and your experiences. And what is at the foundation of discovery? The most natural of all of our intellectual processes, hopefully, and that's curiosity. And when we were exploring more profoundly the notion of curiosity, we came across this video, and this video was the inspiration for our user interface.
Maybe Bill Gates, a truck driver, race car driver, fireman, astronaut, a dog.
So every child has dreams about what they want to be. And that notion of dreams as the natural way to encourage the curiosity of children is the framework upon which we built our user interface. So when you boot the tablet, you boot into what we call the dreams interface, and there are 12 dreams, and a child can be a mathematician, or they can want to be an artist or a musician or an astronaut. And within each of these, if you click on them, you come down into this rich environment specific to the dream. And you'll notice that there are 3 levels of this rich content. I'd prefer to call it experiences, and that's where I'll go eventually in this little talk. But we have introductory, intermediate, and advanced. We don't believe that children learn based on age or based on grade. We believe that children learn by following their natural passions. And so we've designed the interface to support the concept of natural passions. And within the content today, we have apps, and we have games, and we have videos. We also have books. We believe that books is somewhat underappreciated in children's software, and so we want to give the child the opportunity not only to play a game, but also to read a book about whatever their dream is. And every dream is personified by someone who we think represents that dream. So the astronaut is Neil Armstrong, and the mathematician is Stephen Wolfram. I wanted it to be Kurt Gödel, but I was overruled. In addition to this rich content, we've tried to create a feature set that we think will make a compelling proposition in the US market. We have 100 free learning apps on the software. We have 100 free children's books. You press one icon and the tablet goes from English into Spanish, and you get 100 free Spanish apps, and you get 100 free Spanish books. We plan to develop other languages. One of the things that we think really differentiates our product is that we found a community of corporations and organizations around the world, people like Common Sense and BMW and Sesame, that believe in our approach to student-centric learning, with the objective to be not to get to content, but to get to experiences. And these folks are working with us to develop proprietary content, and that's the direction that we're going to go. We're going to move totally towards all proprietary content over time. We have 3 children's logins. We have a full suite of parental controls where you can control access to internet, access to App Store, access to Google Talk, or to Skype. Another, what we think is a distinguishing feature, is we have a series of dashboards that both the parent and the child can look at. And these dashboards will tell you things like what percentage of your time is the child using on which dreams? What percentage of time is the child using the tablet for video, for games, for reading books? There's another dashboard that shows you whether your child is exhibiting behaviors for creativity or for discovery and some of the other basic parts of learning. And lastly, we expect to develop a dashboard that's going to map the child's usage to Gardner's multiple intelligence. And this concept of dashboards is something we're going to continue to develop so that parents have transparency, and they have a greater opportunity to participate with the child in the tablet. And
Great.
okay, am I done?
We're a little tight on
All right.
time.
We have some other features.
Great.
Sorry about that.
Thanks, Bob.
It's the first presentation we've made.
Kamar, you want to talk a little bit about your company?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name's Kamar Shah. First and foremost, I'm a father of a 3-year-old girl, Lila. And I'm the CMO of RunningNet. And we're all going to sit here and talk about tablets and what we do. And we make a portfolio of tablets, 7-inch, 5-inch, has a red handle around it. It's robust, tampered glass. And we make curriculum. But I want to talk about our vision and what we want to do. We want to be an early education company. We want to level the playing field when children go to school at 5 years old.
Do you have slides?
No, I don't, I'm afraid.
Do you want to show it on this?
Actually, I've just run out the battery because I just came from another meeting.
Okay, no problem.
So when a child goes to school at 5 years old, there are all different levels. And we believe that education starts at home. So we have an education advisory board, and we've made curriculum based on cognitive learning, social skills, thinking, math, all of these. And it's progressive learning. One of our advisors is George Foreman, not the George Foreman. Okay, he's a professor emeritus at University of Massachusetts. And he's really a leader and pioneer in early childhood education. And when I first met him a couple of years ago, he told me about critical thinking. My daughter was 1 year old, and I didn't understand, and I asked her. So I tried it on her. And critical thinking is this. You go up to Lila and say, Lila, what would you like to drink? Usually as an adult, we go, oh, do you want milk? Do you want water? And we try to compensate and give her the answer. We know from science that all she's doing is thinking. And what feels like to us an hour, 2 hours, it's not. It's about 10, 15 seconds. I can see these cogs in her head. Well, not really see these cogs. Imagine these cogs in her head ticking over. And she will answer me. She said, Dad, I want some milk. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to bring critical thinking, scaffolding into our curriculum and into our apps and games and music videos. Why are we at CES again this year? We are launching our education solution. And what does that mean? We have structured lesson plans based on objectives for teachers. Our curriculum can be complementary or standalone to current curriculum and US Common Core. If you currently, if you look at anything pre-K, there's no standard. There's no standard at all. So we want to set that standard. We want to set that in education. So when kids do go to school, they're all on the same level playing field. Our CEO and our inventor, Dr. Dan Yang, she was actually meant to be on this panel, but she's not here. She really has a vision. She has children, 4-year-old. And when she was going around the world, she had her daughter, and her daughter was playing with her iPad and her laptop. And she said, you know what? I don't want my child to play Angry Birds. I don't want to pass them a device as a distraction tool. This is great. Technology is fantastic. It's fantastic for children. But to be a future leader of the world, you have to be multifaceted. So you still need to learn how to ride a bike. You still need to go to ballet. And I take her to ballet. I got a 3-wood, sawed it down, put a new handle on, and I have some video of Lila hitting a golf club. You still need to have all of these assets to be a future leader. So if we can bring the best cutting-edge technology, the best minds in education together, and give it a good price to educators, to parents, I think we'll all be successful. So I think that's our goal, all of us, our goal in here today, is give education a real boost up.
Thank you.
And that's all.
Thank you. Jody, would you like to speak a little bit about Leapfrog?
I would, thank you. My name is Dr. Jody Levos, and I head up the team of educational experts at Leapfrog. My Leappad 2 is on the table here. I'm extremely excited about it. It's been incredibly popular again this year, so we're very happy about the results. And what makes Leapad 2 so exciting is that it is designed for kids. It is kid tough. I have a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old at home. I have seen them swing it around by the stylus and drop it on the street, and it's fine. And they have that sense of ownership. That's not my tablet that I'm handing back to my 5-year-old or my 2-year-old. It is his. You can create multiple profiles, so they have that sense of ownership that we've heard here on the panel today. And so the tablet itself has many of the features kids want. It has the 2 cameras so they can put themselves into the action. It has the accelerometer, many of those features that we know kids want. But what's really exciting, what my job at Leapfrog is to design the educational content. So we're not just a toy company, we are an educational entertainment company now. And our goal really is to take the best in entertainment, whether it's the characters kids want to play with or the play patterns they want to be involved with, and really infuse that with the best education. And so my team, the learning team, we're involved in helping design all of the content really every step of the way. We have our own proprietary scope and sequence. It consists of over 2,500 skills that are aligned to the highest state standards and the Common Core. And we're constantly looking at the latest educational trends and research and building that into the learning objectives of all of our content. And the net result is that we have our own closed system. We have an app center at leapfrog.com where parents can go and they don't have to weed through tens of thousands of apps to find the best and the next one for their child. They know that everything on that app center has been designed by educational experts or has been curated. So we no longer only develop our own content, we also distribute content. And so another one of my team's roles is to really curate the best. So we have some great partnerships with Sesame Street and Little Pim, for example. And so I think what we've created is a tablet that kids can feel ownership over, that they love to play with. And we have solutions for parents, so they can go into that app center or they can buy content at retail and find content that they feel is safe, it is age appropriate. We really focus on 3 to 9-year-olds, so we really have a small target that we're very invested in and targeting specifically. And it's just content that parents feel really good about. So it's content that kids want to play and content that parents feel good about. We also have the learning path, and so parents can log on and see how their children are doing as they play the game, so they can actually see play data. And they also get recommendations of maybe where to go next. And we have a really great range of resources for parents. And we've heard it here today. I think many of us believe that parents really are children's first teachers, and at Leapfrog we take that with incredible respect. And so we've worked hard to develop a lot of resources for parents so that they can work with their child not just on the device, but also offline. We have games and activities and printables and worksheets so that parents can sit down with their child and really extend the learning experiences that they also had together on the device. So that's Leappad 2 in a nutshell.
Super. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I had the honor of moderating a panel last year where Leapfrog was on the panel, and I don't know if you were here or not, but the most dramatic thing that Leapfrog did was they threw the Leapster off the stage onto the ground, and they said, please pick it up and play it, and it played well. So it seems like we've really evolved beyond durability into real content type opportunities. So this is a huge market, and it continues to explode. I think last year at this time there were 2 products in the marketplace, and now there's 19. So it's really grown dramatically. And what we're finding is that we're seeing more than ever age compression, and that is kids are getting younger, or getting older younger. And we're really seeing that from a digital perspective. Motley Fool last week announced that they think that kids are going out of physical toys at age 5 and into the digital format. That's very profound from a point of view of where we're going from a digital perspective. I found that in December that Warren put together an article that really summarized this market in a very effective way, and I recommend that you Google him and get that article because it identifies who the players are in the market currently, what their unique features are, and then where this market is going as well. So I think that that's a great summary as it relates to where we're at with kids' tablets. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to try to dive into a couple of issues. I see that we don't have a whole lot of time, but the things that are really in front of us is that where does this product belong? Does it belong on the toy shelf or in consumer electronics? What's the importance of education? What's the importance of entertainment as it relates to content? And how do you differentiate that from a company point of view? And then in this age group, it's always really important to deal with kid safety and with parental control. So those are some of the things that loom in front of us. So I'd like to start by just asking the panel if you would talk a little bit about, why don't we start with education versus entertainment content, what the important factors are, and where you're heading from a company perspective. Jason, you want to start?
I think from an education perspective, one of the key priorities for our product line this year in 2013 is going to be education. We're really making that part more robust because it is very important that when you're trying to get a kid or a family tablet, that it's going to be that you can have a varied content on there that's anything from entertainment to education. You really kind of have to blend the lines between the two so that they have that children not only have things that they can learn from, but also be able to entertain themselves as well.
Thank you. Bob?
I said in my remarks that I didn't particularly like the word content and that I preferred to think in terms of experiences. And what we believe is that in tablets, starting with children, there's going to be a convergence of this virtual world with the physical world. The form factor of tablets lends itself not just to consumption, but to activity and experiences and physical things. And so where we are going and where we think the market is headed is to things like accessories and external devices that interface with the tablet, and that's going to get the child off the couch and out in the field collecting water samples that then get analyzed and brought into an application, and then maybe you can share it online with some scientist at MIT and he'll give you some feedback on your analysis. I mean, we think that the child getting out with the tablet is where the market's going to go, and that's why I want to talk about experiences and not content.
And just as a follow-up, where do you see the role of the tablet in the school as it relates to direct teaching opportunities?
I think that for sure with the prices coming down, we're going to see increasingly school districts, buying tablets. I'm on the board of a private school in Connecticut. I think it was the first private school that had all iPads for their students. So I've been following this for about almost 4 years now. And increasingly, I think the schools are going to develop environments that work with tablets. Probably it'll be a lot of tablets that kids bring from home rather than the schools providing them.
Good. Kamar?
So why do we have to make a difference between education and entertainment? There's this theory that education can't be fun. It can be fun. And that's what we're trying to bring to the marketplace. Because when you give a child something and you say, go and read a book or something, it's not a bad thing. It's fun. It's engaging. You talked about kids getting off the couch. One of the things we're doing with teachers and educators is lesson plans, and where we're bringing two things together. I'll give you an example. So if your objective of the day is learn body parts, the kids touch your head, touch your shoulders, touch your knees. Then they go on Vinci and play with Baby Haha and do that, and there's an assessment done with Baby Haha touchpoints, and then they can take a Vinci and do head, shoulders, knees and toes. So technology is not replacing education, it's just making it easier access to education. And it can be entertaining, it can be fun. I don't think we should separate the two. And the other thing is we talk about categories. You talked about, are we in toys, are we in electronics? Our problem is we're building a new category, and it's a hard struggle for everyone. It's hard at retail, it's hard at everything. Where do people go? And that's it.
Good. Jody?
I would agree. I don't think there needs to be a dichotomy between learning and fun. I think kids are hardwired to learn. They learn best through play when they're engaged and having fun. And our goal at Leapfrog really is to make content experiences that are just as compelling and just as engaging as something they might find on another tablet, but it is infused with education. They're learning while they're playing. They're playing because they're learning. There's no dichotomy there, and I think that's really our goal. And within our App Center, most of our content is something that parents recognize as something that their kids want to play, but is educational. That said, we do also have a category that is called Just for Fun, and it's content that we've curated and reviewed. We know it's age appropriate and it's safe for children, but maybe there is no overt learning objectives. And that is because sometimes kids just want to sit back and watch or play with something that's maybe not as educationally rigorous. And we also know that kids learn best when they have a parasocial relationship with characters and IP. And so part of engaging is something that's maybe not overtly educational, still developing that relationship that we can then use when we create an educational game using those characters.
Cool, thank you.
I just want to ask this question. There are 3 800-pound gorillas that are not here that I think we all should acknowledge or just think about. One is Apple and the iTunes that really stirred this whole thing up. The other is Amazon, which is very interesting, and the
Kindle.
Amazon Fire HD. They're going crazy with marketing for kids. And the third one, of course, is Nexus. Nexus. Google and Android and the Nexus, their tablet. And the reason I said that was because that's a Nexus and that's running your software. Fascinating what's going on. These are giants, and when giants fight, little people can get squished. Is that fair?
I think that's a very poignant point. But we, as Apple, Google, everyone, don't we owe it to children to build something specifically for them that is targeted to them? Instead of them, I love my iPad, giving your kid a device which is a media consumption device. It's not safe. Parents, I'm a parent, I don't have time to go and get the content, make sure everything's age appropriate, etc. I don't. And if I can give my child something which they can go, I know it's safe, they have an educational element, and they can have fun, we owe it to them to do that. You know, why can't we do that? Why do we have to give them a media consumption device which is built for us?
Along that line of thinking, how do you separate your positioning to the market to the parent versus the child?
We don't market to children. We market to parents, and we market to teachers, school boards, educators.
Jason, how about you?
We actually we do market to both. I mean, we're looking as it's going to be a mom purchase that kids are really interested in. I was at a family function last month, and one of my nephews came up and had seen the commercial that we were running, and he said it's a tablet for me, and has been just bugging his mom to buy it because it's, you know, it's to Jody's point, there's a lot of there's a lot to being able to own your own tablet, not borrowing your parents. And I think that's where you talk about an Apple or a Nexus as all these giants are fighting. There's a lot of opportunity for some of these other companies, ours included, to really market to the family. You know, having the multiple profiles and making it so that everyone has their own experience with the tablet that everyone can share in the family.
Good, thank you. We're out of time, so if there's one question in the audience, we'd be happy to try to answer that.
Yes, in regards to the placement of these devices, I work in the homes with families and kids all the time, and one of the things I wanted to ask, you all seem to be in a community of providing interaction, and you're speaking of the Curio and its updating and its live time and this and that. Is there an aggregator, sort of like a primary blacklisting site that looks after type spam things that you all see as an alliance point of contact for those feeds, or are you doing them with your own algorithms and things like that? And then I guess do we have to decide who's the best at filtering that?
We work as a combination of both. The filtering software, we partnered with another company that runs the algorithms and is and they categorize them into 14 distinct categories you can turn on and off. But we also have it set up so that you can just block it by age. So you know what you block for a 5-year-old could be completely different than what you block for a 10-year-old. In tandem with that, we also look to see what were the most popular sites that parents were blocking, and give that as a default list to parents if they choose to use it. I mean, a lot of what we've always talked about in Curio is that it's all about customization. So, you know, what one parent's value system and what they deem appropriate for the child could be completely different for someone else. And we want to give people the building blocks to easily set it up, but also really make it unique for their child.
We're partnering with Common Sense Media, who's involved with 30 million students in the United States, and I think they do a really excellent job that parents in the United States are going to feel comfortable with.
Good. Well, so with that, I think that we need to end the panel. So I want to thank the panelists very much. Thank you.
Thank you.